one of the biggest things that really hold us men back from having success with women is because we are very indecisive. Let's really think about it. When you don't know what you want to do with your life, you don't know which direction you headed towards, you're not sure financially how things are going to go in the future. When these things are not clear in your head, naturally when you're with a woman, it's going to mess things up. Because a woman, she wants to see progress. She wants to see that you're continuing to elevate and continue to grow. Because that woman, if she doesn't see you doing that, she gonna feel like, man, I can go get somebody else. And women hate an indecisive man because it's a turnoff. You showing that you ain't got no confidence, you're not assertive, you don't know where you're going with your life, you can't make a decision. Women respect men who can make decisions. Y'all know, like when dudes talk about like the one that got away, you know how we talk about, oh man, like she got away, like that's the one that got away. And I think what we got to understand is, for one, we should be vetting women, right? If you're decisive, you're gonna be in the vetting mode with women. But if you're indecisive, you're gonna be around a woman trying to prove yourself. You're gonna be playing it safe. Oh, which decision should I make? What if she don't like this decision? That's not what being a man is about. So we have to work to be more decisive. But if you look at the root causes of these things, you gotta feel worthy. You gotta feel good about you. A lot of times we just don't feel good about ourselves. And that was me for so many years. Because I didn't feel good about myself, because I didn't know which direction I was going, it was hard for me to lead a situation with a woman. So naturally, I'm going to be indecisive because I don't know where I want to take this. But when you become decisive, now you can see, okay, does this woman fit these qualities? Okay, this is a woman that I'll just date. Okay, this is a woman that can potentially have more. Okay, this is a woman I just have fun with. You got to be able to vet women and be decisive. I've been watching this show on Netflix called The Ultimatum, South Africa. And basically what The Ultimatum is, if you don't know, there's couples that come on to the show where either the woman or the man gave each other the ultimatum, and they go on to the show and they get with somebody else for a trial marriage for 3 weeks. So you're living with this person, you're dating them for 3 weeks to see, okay, should I be with this person or go back with my partner or go with neither of them? So on the show, the common theme that I see with the men on the show is that they're all super simpish, for one. But for two, they're very indecisive. And when you don't have a vetting skill, you're not going to be able to make decisions. I remember one time, one of the dudes, he was with his trial marriage woman, and he was at a dinner and his brothers came out and his sister came out. And they was like, bro, she clearly knows what she wants. You don't. His own brothers told him that he didn't know what he wanted. And that's what happens when you're indecisive. You could have a good woman in front of you and not even realize it. Because the thing is, if you're vetting the woman, you should know if this is a good woman or not. If you're vetting properly and you're not getting blinded off a woman's looks. Because that's really the thing, right? Like women, when it comes to like relationships and stuff like that, they're very able to process how they feel. So they're going to know if they want you or not. A lot of times it's us as the man, we're not really sure. We're not really sure if we want her or not, or maybe there's grass green on the other side. And that's why you got to be able to come from the mindset of being decisive. What's your goals? Like, where are you trying to go with your life? What type of woman do you want? What are your standards? What are you looking for in a woman? Maybe that's something you need to write down. Because if you don't know what type of woman you want, you just know she got to have a fat ass. She got to have some big double D's. She got to have a pretty face. If that's all your standards is, you're going to get finessed. You got to be able to make choices and decisions that are based off what you want to do with your life. But the thing is, when you don't know where you're going with your life, you don't know what your purpose is, it's going to be hard for you to be decisive with your life. Decision making is going to be hard for you. And a lot of times that it runs over with women, because with women, a lot of times as dudes, we're very indecisive because we don't want to mess it up. I don't want to mess it up. But what ended up happening for me was I ended up self-sabotaging. I got in my own way because I wasn't decisive enough. You can't be afraid to state what you want. If you're having sex with a woman and she says, hey, you got to get into a relationship with me for this to continue, and you do it because of the convenience of the relationship, that's weak energy. That's simp energy. That's you being indecisive. You don't know what you want. Because if you didn't want her, if you didn't want to be in a relationship with her, you say, hey, I love hanging out with you. You're a good person, but I just want to continue to hang out right now and take my time. That's what you would say to her. And whatever happens, happens. But a lot of times, what do? We get into situations because of convenience. We don't know how to be decisive. We don't know how to state what we want. So a woman can disrespect us all day. She can go out the mouth because you're not decisive. Being decisive is a superpower, because at that point you have control over your life. You want to put women in a position where they let you know what it is. Because a lot of times we're putting ourselves in a position where we have to wait to see what it is. I'm playing it black or white. So when you decisive, you state what you want. You put the ball in the woman's court for her to decide. That's how you keep the leverage, is by being decisive. Because when you indecisive, you trying to play it safe because you got fear of loss, because you're afraid of losing her, because you're in a scarcity mindset. And what's going to happen? You're going to self-sabotage and you're going to end up losing her just like you thought you was. And that's how I thought for so many years. Because here's the thing we got to understand, right? If you're not decisive in this era that we live in, you're going to get ate up. You're going to get finessed. You're going to get manipulated. You're going to get love bombed. You're going to get ghosted. You're going to get no text back. You're going to get 6-hour text backs. You're going to chase. You're going to do all these things, all because you don't know what you want to do with your life. That's really the root cause of it. You don't know what you want to do. So if you don't know what you want to do with your life, how you going to lead a woman when you can't lead your own life? Because like I said earlier, the worst possible position to be in is if you have a woman in front of you where she's an asset to your life, but deep down inside, you don't know how to lead her. You don't know where to take it. That's the worst possible position to be in, because now you're going to lose her. You're going to self-sabotage you. And I did this plenty of times. This is why we got to have a sense of urgency to improve, get better, improve, figure out what I want to do. What do I want to do with my life? You got to have dreams. We got one life. What you want to do with it? You got to be decisive. If you ain't decisive in 2024, then it's over with, straight up. And with that being said, guys, that's my video for today, man. I appreciate you guys for coming over to the channel as always. Guys, make sure you continue to like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. And I'm gone.